Guys, by now, many of you have heard about the Chinese luxury brand scandal. As someone who studied fashion in China, I'm here to tell you that everything that the Chinese people are saying is actually true. And here is why. My name is Mercy and welcome to my channel, Everything Fashion and Everything Sustainable Fashion and Digital Fashion. So, because this is a trending topic and because so many fashion users feel like they have been duped and they did not know. Honestly, I thought this was an open secret. I did not know, so many people did not know. So I'm here to tell you that as someone who studied in China for 2 years, I was studying in Guangzhou, which is one of the biggest fashion districts. It has the biggest textile market, and it has so many other districts that have as you know, in China, because production is huge, you will find that there is a whole village dedicated to something. There's a whole village dedicated to furniture, a whole village dedicated to jewelry, a village, so Guangzhou is that kind of place. It has so many small places that are dedicated to production of just one specific thing. So while I was there, I had a chance to be in so many different markets, bag market, sunglasses, like so many, right? And when you reach the markets, they will tell you, like if you see a Fendi sunglasses, you ask, is it original or not? They'll tell you it's second copy, a third copy, and fourth copy. Here's why they're able to do that. Because most of let's be honest, as a designer myself, having production in Europe is very expensive, but having it in China is way cheaper. So it makes sense for so many brands to have production over there, and then they come and they stamp on their brand, and then you guys buy and you think you're buying prestige and luxury, but actually no. And this is true. For example, in China, there is some places you can go and like if you know that this factory makes, not even a factory, it can be vendors approach tourists, they approach anyone, and they'll be like, hey, do you want to buy original Versace? Hey, do you want to buy original like sunglasses or watches, or do you want original Birkin? Come. They won't sell them on the street. You have to go in a corner because they know it's illegal. They understand it's illegal. Why is it illegal and how once these big brands are sharing their intellectual property with the Chinese, of course you're going to give them the technique, the design, everything. And correct me if I'm wrong, there's so many laws in China. There are not so many laws in China do not protect like copyright. Obviously, they don't protect copyright, and so many laws in China also flawed depending on where you are, what you did, how you did it, who saw you, blah blah blah. Like so many things are gray, especially when it comes to product and production. You will end up losing so much money trying to sue Chinese vendors or Chinese factories for copying your design. So what happens is these people have been working with these big brands for years, and they end up, having the designs. So if it's made in one factory, you're not there to supervise them. You don't know how much they are going to make, or you don't know who is fired from that factory that will go to another factory and give them the exact recipe of how to make this handbag or this type of shoe, whatever. So that is what happens, and you will find that there are so many markets selling all of these brands and they are really close to original. The thing that struck a remembrance right now for me is the Van Cleef and Pearls, like the necklaces and the bracelets, right? When I was there, I did not know that brand, but I remember walking the street and I would see so many flowers, like so many flower bracelets, right? And I'll be like, what? Why are there so many? I didn't understand the brand then. I didn't know the brand then. I did not know it was a luxury brand. I did not know. until after some time, and then it, rang up, it clicked. I'm like, oh wow, these were counterfeit Van Cleef necklaces and jewelry. Oh my goodness, they were everywhere. And it was up to you. You can get something that is almost close to the original, but if you're buying the original out of the shop, right? Like, let's say it's why I keep using Dior. Let's say it's Fendi, right? If you're buying it out of the Fendi store in China and you're buying it as a second copy, let's say a pair of sunglasses. I bought I bought Fendi sunglasses. They were really good. They were really nice, you guys. And it was a second copy. So second copy, they call it second copy because it's the closest thing to the first copy. But honestly, you wouldn't tell the difference. To be honest, you would never tell the difference. So yeah, that's what I'm telling you guys. And then the other thing I wanted to say is that I read someone on Twitter saying that, these people are ridiculous thinking that Birkins are made in China. Yes, they possibly can be made in China, because recently there was a scandal. I will look it up and I might pin it if I find it. But there was a scandal of Italians hiring Chinese illegal migrants or illegal workers, making them work in sweatshops. Yes, they were working in sweatshops and they were found out. So they are making all of these expensive handbags in Europe, but they are illegal, meaning they are paying them dust, like they are paying them meager wages, and they are overworking them, and they are illegal. So you cannot you cannot sue them, or you cannot report because you are illegal. And that was a scandal. And they were saying, for example, one bag, the production and everything can be for 50 euros, and then the markup is just so ridiculous. What the handbag goes up to $4,000 from 50 euros, to even 4,000 euros, right? That's the markup. I'm saying, like, more than that's, I don't know the math, but it's more than 1,000% of a markup, right? Yes. So regarding that, you guys, don't be delusional. Don't be delusional, because as a fashion designer, cost of production in Europe is extremely expensive. You're going to end up not making a profit at all. At all. So outsourcing to China, to countries like China, especially China, is a real deal. Then the other point I wanted to ask, guys, is it really luxury if everyone has it? Like, for the longest time, I haven't been a brand am I even allowed to say that on YouTube? I haven't been a sucker for brands, because for me, as a fashion designer, I understand processes of production and design and research and all of that goes into that. That if I'm to be a laborer, I would prefer that it's for like something that I'm going to have for so many years, and something that I will have, like I will be one out of, I don't know, thousands and thousands that has that same thing. I don't want to be having the same thing. Living in Switzerland, you see so many people with branded stuff, right? Like from the sneakers to the handbag, has Louis Vuitton. I don't understand people wearing a huge belt saying Versace. I don't understand the whole printed all over Gucci. I mean, to me, it doesn't scream class. I'm sorry. It doesn't scream class at all. And it screams wannabe. Wannabe rich. I want to appear rich. And what is so funny, we need to also establish, because through fashion, that's how we've been duped or lied to, or even, but that's how society is. Like, through fashion, that's where you gauge the person's tax bracket, for example, or the income levels or whatever. So if we are wearing stuff that is labeled, then most of them want to appear wealthy. But the kicker is wealthy people don't wear these brands. Wealthy people have their own brands, their own exclusive brands, that even you knowing this brand, it means you're in the upper echelon, right? Wearing this brand makes you even in the upper, even knowing about it makes you in the upper echelon, right? So those are the wealthy people. So all these people who are fiending for these bargains, and it's giving, I'm not satisfied, or I want people to consider me rich, or because they are expensive. A bag that is 4,000 or 5,000, a handbag, that is really expensive, especially in today's economy. I'm not trying to pocket watch, or everyone can do whatever it is that they want to do, but I'm just putting things in perspective for everyone, that hey, if you want to be exclusive, if you want to be to appear like you're in that upper percentile, then you might want to step a little bit back from all this branded stuff. It doesn't scream luxury, it doesn't scream wealthy, it screams wannabe. It screams I'm in the middle class and I want to be perceived richer, or even your faves do it. And don't get me wrong, most of us have a poverty mindset. Like maybe you come from poverty, and then when you become an adult, then you're like, hey, I need to appear rich, and I need to fulfill that void and whatever. So you go on and buy all of these brands and stuff. And one thing you should know is that these brands have seasons. What you think you invested a lot in this year is going to be irrelevant next year, because despite it saying it's luxury, it's still luxury fast fashion. There is no reason as to why I should buy a bag today and then I feel like, oh, it's out of trend, it's not trending anymore. Then it doesn't feel that way, right? Or even a cloth or whatever it is, Please make sure that whatever it is that you're buying it because you really love it. It's not because you want to appear some type of way, right? Yeah. And the other point is living here in Switzerland again, like there is a street, Bahnhofstrasse. It's a very expensive branded street. It's one of the most expensive streets in the world, actually, with the most expensive mall. Yeah, it's called Grieda. So when you are there, you will find a queue to enter Louis Vuitton, a queue to enter Chanel. So one time I was passing by and I was like, why do I have to line up for luxury? I am lining up to pay lots of money for luxury. Did you see the play? Does that make it luxury at all? Even help me understand. I don't think that's luxury. I think luxury is you entering and then it's exclusive. It's like 6 people in the store, you're being catered to, and all of that. I don't think lining up. And someone will say, oh, those are stylists lining. No, it's not stylists. It's real people, because I worked on that street. I worked in a mall on that street, so I know it's real people lining up to buy these products or these whatever it is, right? And then the other thing I wanted to say, sometime back, I think it was last year, I went to Paris for a trip, and there is this place where I buy nice stuff that is discounted. So I went over there, and there is a Valentino bag that I wanted. It's a handbag, and then the lady told me, hey, I see you want this Valentino bag, but you're chasing after a label. There is this other Italian brand that you can have. There is this other Italian brand that is 100% leather and everything, and it's even like a little bit cheaper than the thing that you want, and it's original. But this Valentino is actually not real leather, so I think you're better off buying this one. And it got me thinking, you know, I bought the handbag. Let me show you guys the handbag. So this is the handbag. How cute is this, right? Like, it's super duper cute. And you can tell it's leather, right? It's real leather, real genuine leather. And I never regretted, you know. It's by a boss in real. I don't even know the designer. I've never heard of the designer, but this is the handbag she recommended. And I don't have any regrets. I get so many compliments. Those who know. Those who know real leather, real handbags, know. So that's just another example of telling you guys that sometimes chasing after what everyone is chasing after is actually because now I have a genuine handbag that I'm going to have for so many years, and I haven't seen that with so many people at all, and it's mine. I love it. You know, I'm not copying any trend. I'm not, right? From that day on, I learned that, whoa, we have really been deceived. Anyway, so back to my point, you guys. Yes, it is true. It is true that the Chinese brands that. So guys, back to my point, it is true. It's true that these big brands are actually duping us. It is true that the big brands are not exclusive. They're not exclusive at all. Because everyone, so many people can have them. So many people can have them, and also they can be duplicated. Think about that. So that doesn't make you special. It doesn't make you stand out if everyone has it. Okay, so thanks you guys for listening. I hope you come back for more fashion related content. Be sure to check out my digital fashion shop, which is showcasing my fashion collection, and check out the collection. Everything is in the bio. Everything is, I'm going to put in the description the website to my designs, so you can see. This is one of them, and it's 100% linen. Support small designers like us, because chances are you wearing this, you're going to be the only one wearing it. So if you haven't yet subscribe. I need subscribers. Please subscribe and like the video, and